Welcome.
Are you
It's
ready?
Are you ready? This is the
Let's.
OtakuCast Postshow, the show
Is
after the
it
show.
though?
It is.
Yeah. Well, you know
And
what? If you're
if
here,
you're
you're
here,
family. Y'all know that.
you messed it up, dude.
I'm
That's a
gonna not mess it
no.
up. I'm gonna
That
keep
that
moving
that's
forward.
that's a
I'm gonna
two-parter
keep
thing,
moving forward. We watched My Neighbors the Yamadas this week.
which is Honeko Tonori no Yamada-kun. It's a 1999 Japanese
Nin-
animated comedy film written and directed.
Is
Look,
it
I
a
had to go.
comedy?
That's
Is
what it
it?
says on the
Whew.
Wikipedia article that I'm looking at here on this
That's
monitor.
one loose definition of comedy.
Yeah, that's fair. That was a fucking movie, that was for sure.
Did you guys know it
Written and
was made
directed
by
by
Studio
Isao
Ghibli?
Takahata, animated by Studio Ghibli for Tomoka Shoten and Nippon Television Network, Hakuda Hodo, and Bena Vista Home Entertainment, and distributed by Shochiku. It's based on the
Oh, Shochiku.
Yokomata manga Nono-chan. Nono-chan.
No.
No, don't touch me there. This is my no square. By Hisaichi Ishii. The film stars people. You can look that up. I'm not reading all those names. As much as you guys enjoy me trying to pronounce Japanese names.
Actually, apparently, there is one thing. There's Toru Masuoka, who I thought was a different actor that did the voice of Buddha in in the Hero Yoshihiko. However,
Hmm.
what it actually is he's most known for doing a Common Rider, the voice of a Common Rider character.
Hmm.
I know. I thought that was
Interesting.
interesting. And the mom was voiced by Yukiji Asaoka, and she had a role in a Zato Ichi film, which I've actually been watching.
Interesting. And
Zato
unlike
Ichi movies
other
are very good.
And unlike other films of Studio Ghibli, this film is presented in a stylized comic strip aesthetic, a departure from the traditional anime style of the studio's other works. I hated it. I
Yeah,
hated the animation. Let me
yeah, it
correct
was not.
myself. I
Yeah,
did not
no.
like the animation at all.
Hey,
I
I got another fun fact.
The
In the
budget was 2 billion yen. $15.27 million to make this.
well, it was completely digital, so it makes sense.
And it didn't even make
No,
it made only 1.56 billion yen, which is
didn't
$11.91
make it
million
budget
dollars.
back. No, didn't make the budget back. Uh,
Ooh,
the father in the dub was voiced by Jim Belushi, of all people.
I didn't even know. I watched the dub with
Yeah,
my son.
the mother was Molly Shannon from Superstar, and of course Saturday Night Live. Uh, Daryl Sabara did the brother, and he was the young brother in Spy Kids.
Mm,
There
interesting.
is there is actually more interesting facts, which is the voice of Myrtle from Lilo and Stitch is who played the younger sister.
Oh,
Yeah, not
oh,
only that, she was also the voice of Panini in Chowder. Uh, the
did not
grandmother,
like that show.
no, the grandmother was done by voiced by Tress McNeil, and she has been in a ton of things. But
Steven
to
Universe.
give you the most recent one in Hey Arnold the Jungle movie, she was Grandma Gertrude. In what was I was looking at something. Uh, the B movie, she was Janet Chung. She's a lot of old women. In Brother Bear 2, she was Huna.
And honestly, the grandma was my favorite out of the whole entire movie. So there's that.
Right, right.
Statues here
Then
somewhere.
we have the narrator was David Ogden Steers, who
Bless you.
who is a two-time Emmy Award winner, and he was Major Charles Emerson Winchester III, MD on MASH.
Bless you.
Woo! I know there's a whole lot there.
All right, I feel like there's not a whole lot to discuss about this movie, really, because
There
it
is
was a.
one more interesting fact though about that guy.
Go ahead.
He was Dr. Jumba in Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, but Yukiba.
Uh huh.
I like Lilo and Stitch.
That was the narrator.
That's That's funny.
Yeah,
That's
no,
funny.
that's all I got because the rest of the that's the interesting parts of the movie. I'm sorry.
Look,
I had to.
the movie was
I'll
a
film
bunch it was a collection of little shorts, and not
vignettes.
saying they were not some of them were funny, some of them had little lessons about working together.
I chuckled twice in
Mom's
2
mood about
hours.
making dinner in one of the shorts, by the way, is 100% relatable for me,
That mom
'cause
though, that mom is
she's a hot
lazy.
mess. She's a hot mess.
Jeez, that the whole family's a hot mess.
The
Apparently the son drinks
this
alcohol.
and he's also a manga reader, which I appreciate that.
Yeah. He's a
And
young
then
kid in
but
Japan in the 90s.
th he's also a turd because there was that one scene when they were arguing about who gets the house or whatever, he's just like, "All
Yeah.
this is gonna be mine." I'm like,
Well,
"Excuse
yeah,
me?"
because the grandma was like, it's my land," and the dad's like, "But we built the house," and the son's like, "What's the matter? It's gonna be mine anyways."
Yeah, pretty much. And it's like lessons about for the most part, about working together and staying together, funny little shorts, and then there was that whole one about child abandonment and,
Yeah, where they left the daughter.
in the mall.
Look, let's just be honest here. The Yamadas are a terrible family. They're
They
all
really are.
terrible.
They're terrible people.
The daughter was crying when the grandma or the mom, no, the grandma and the dad were fighting, and the daughter was crying, and the mom's like, "Look, what kind of example are you setting?" And she's like, "I can't hear the TV."
Yeah, exactly.
They're
That's what she
just
was crying about.
they're
Which
terrible,
sounds like my
terrible,
children, honestly, some days, because children.
terrible, terrible people.
And then there was a one that amused me was mom and dad fighting over the remote to the TV.
That was one of my
That
chuckles. Was
yeah,
yeah.
dad wanted to watch the game, mom wanted to watch a romance movie, and mom had the
You know,
remote, and dad kept, like they were, like,
I'm
posing to
yeah,
block it.
it
It was
was good
entertaining.
until the mom one. I'm trying to actually remember all the vignettes, and there's so few that stick out in my
Do
mind.
you know what the Wikipedia plot summary is?
Oh, 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 wait, you got the last one. I'll read
Oh,
the
okay, do
I'll
it.
read the first paragraph.
You can read the whole thing if you want.
Oh, okay. The film is a series of vignettes following the daily lives of the Yamada family. Takashi and Matsuko, the mother and father, Shige, Matsuko's mother,
Savage.
Noboru, aged approximately 13, Nonoko, aged approximately 5, and Pochi, the family dog, which is bull. Pochi ain't in it. He shows up
I
like
was
twice.
I was hoping for some sort of vignette about Pochi, about the dog that's just
You would
randomly in
think.
the background, but there
No,
was nothing.
yeah.
There was nothing.
The most they did was tell him to watch the house.
Yeah.
Each
Y
of the vignettes is preceded by a title such as Father as Role Model, A Family Torn Apart, or Patriarchal Supremacy Restored. These vignettes cover such issues as losing a child in a department store, the relationships between father and son, or husband and wife, the wisdom of old age, meeting one's first girlfriend, and many that didn't happen.
That did
Each
not.
is each is presented with humor, presenting a very believable picture of family life, which crosses cultural boundaries. The relationships between Matsuko, Takashi, and Shige are particularly well observed, with Shige giving advice and proverbs to all the family members. What movie did you watch? And having a great strength of character. Takashi and Matsuko's relationship is often the focus of the episodes. Their rivalries, such as arguing about who has control of the television, their frustrations, and their difficulties. By overriding theme is the love of one another despite their flaws and their desire to be the best parents possible for their children. What
Which they
movie did you
fail.
watch?
I
Yeah, they
look,
failed terribly.
grandma's a savage, can I just say she was my
The
favorite.
motorcycle gang. The motorcycle
The
gang.
motorcycle gang, yeah,
Yeah,
that
that
grandma's
was
a
the one.
savage.
Grandma's gonna go out to talk to this motorcycle gang, and they end up making the dad go out there, and he's just like excuse me, you know, and the
Push over.
grandma's
You're the
just like,
pussy.
yeah, and the grandma's just like, you got a loud voice, don't you? And the motorcycle gang dude's like, yeah, and she's like, you should use that loud voice for good. I bet if you use that loud voice when someone was acting up, they'd shut up and listen. You should use your loud voice for justice. And she basically just guilts the dude for like 2 minutes.
And then her and her mom were kidnapped, and that was a fun little chase scene.
Well, that was the father's like fantasy.
Yeah, that's true because he was superhero man.
Yeah, he turned into he. That was funny. The common writer thing.
Yeah, that was kinda
Yeah,
funny. Another one that was
yeah,
funny is when dad's sitting there sipping his sake and he invites a child to try some, and you always expect for the kid to be like, and everyone in
yeah.
the
Because
family
he's like,
expected,
yeah, he's like, tastes bad, doesn't it?
and he's like, "No, honestly, it's a little dry," and he hands back the cup, and I was chuckled.
Yeah.
I was tickled
Dad,
by that one.
dad chases him out. Yeah, that whole like the first girlfriend thing. That's not a thing that happens
No,
at
he
all.
tried to get a girlfriend, and she shunned him and went to go use another
Oh,
dude's umbrella.
yeah, it's raining, and she's like, "Here, you can borrow my umbrella." And he's like, and then she runs over to this other dude. She's like, "Oh, I forgot my umbrella," and he's just like, "Beat it." And then she goes back. She's like, "Hey, can I have my umbrella back?" And he's like, "No."
Exactly, and then there was that other scene with grandma getting beef with other old people. I like that she
Yeah,
drawing lines for the other old person and stuff, that was funny.
yeah.
I don't know, it was
There was
weird.
some good ones and some really, really just forgettable ones.
Yeah, I only took a couple notes throughout the movie, like, what else are you gonna do for real? But it was I have to mention, me and my older son, he's 8, we're watching this together, and he was incredibly invested, as an 8-year-old would be, because he found a lot of scenes funny. As an
There
8-year-old
was,
does. And there was this one scene, it wasn't even the smoking in the house one that I mentioned during cast, there was another one that he was completely and honestly triggered. The man came home from work, and we know Japanese culture, men are expected to
yeah.
work their asses off with very little, no recompense for it. But he was tired, and he was grumpy, and he was hungry, and he demanded his wife make him food, and all she had was, like, an orange and some crackers and
Well,
something,
he had it was they had a banana
a banana and some
or
crackers.
no, it wasn't crackers though. It
I could
was
swear it's crackers.
no, it was a
Something else.
banana or some other thing, and he was
And
just like, eh.
and he got all pissed and he started complaining about it, and Zach went, "Ugh." He's like, "Why would he talk to her like that?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, child."
In the sub, he wasn't really like mad. He was just more like so tired he was out of it, and he's like,
In the
I'm
dub, he actually,
hungry.
like, started getting mad at his wife, and my
Oh,
son actually got triggered because of it, it
in
was
the
funny. In the
in the
dub, it was
yeah.
crackers.
In the sub, he's just sitting there and he's like, "What we got?" And she's just like, "We've got a banana or this." And he's like, "Banana's not food." And
Yeah,
then she leaves the banana for him and he tries to eat it, but he didn't peel it. So he just like lazily picks it up and accidentally bites into it and he just like
but it was
lazily
just
unpeels it.
it was funny how my son was like, "If he doesn't like what she made for if she has for him, then he can go make himself something else," and I'm like,
I mean,
"Kid after my own heart."
the mom was no better throughout the
No, I'm
whole
not.
thing.
She was like losing your child in a shopping mall. It's one thing if the older child was not watching her, like, and making which at some point she should have went, "Where's my daughter?" Like,
Ah, I've done that.
I mean,
Nope,
"Hello?"
I don't have a
like
child, but I mean, I wandered off in a shopping mall.
the
Yeah, but the daughter
mom,
actually didn't leave. She was right where she was supposed to be, and they all just walked off and left her.
Oh
well, like
well.
yeah, well, like the mom, there was someone was coming over and the dude was like,
Get down,
we need to clean up."
get
And the
down.
mom, instead of cleaning up, was just throwing stuff everywhere. And she's like, "We'll just say we're spring cleaning."
Yes, because there was, some uncle or relative that was gonna visit. Yeah, it was
Even
funny.
because the dad was willing to like put in the effort. He grabbed a vacuum. Like he was willing to go for this. Like let's start cleaning. And she was just like, "No."
Even though traditionally it would have been the wife's responsibility to keep the house tidied up while the man works, but
Yeah,
he
but
was
dad
willing
was,
to.
yeah, he was willing to step up. There was also the sad one with the first snow where everyone was just like, "Who cares?" And the dad
Dad
was
was
just there
like, "Oh
alone.
my goodness, look at the wonder that is outside," and everyone's like, "Eh, TV."
Yeah.
That was that was a little sad, like, even my son was
Or
like, "No one wants to go play with him," or the one with, the
the
catch when
ball.
he was trying to get
Yeah.
his son to go play with him, yeah.
Well, the
That one
first
was
time
also
his
like,
son threw the ball and broke a window, and then
mm.
his son was like, "Nah, I'm not doing it. Why should we bond?" Meh.
Can we also talk about the one with the grandma and the little kids with the balls? They come over, "Excuse me, miss,
Oh yeah,
we lost our ball," and it goes
yeah,
back to, like, the Arthurian legend of, like, which being honest and getting the better reward,
yeah.
and she has a new baseball or an old rubber ball, and she goes, "Which one was yours?" And the little kids were like, "Old rubber ball," and she goes, "Oh." Well, tell you what, since
And
you told the truth, you can have them both. And then not
yeah,
5 minutes later, 2 other kids come over. Hi, we're looking for our baseball. It's brand new and we lost it here yesterday. And she's like, "There's no
yeah.
ball here," and closes the gate
Oh, in the sub, she just goes, "I didn't see anything," and just starts walking off.
or whatever she did. She left or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she just don't care.
grandma's a savage.
There was
It,
also the dad forgot his umbrella and it was raining and he called home to be like, "Hey, can you bring me my umbrella?" And the wife is just like, "Go bring your dad an umbrella." And he's like, "No, no one wants to do it." And he's just like, "Fine, I'll just buy a new umbrella." And she's like, "Buy beef." Like,
that's pretty
really?
awful. I
So
have
he goes,
taken like my husband works at the army base like 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes that way. And I have can't tell you how many times I brought him something or other people something. That's just because look, I'm at home, you're at work, I can do this, you cannot, you know.
yeah.
It's just common decency. I don't know. There's bad
and
people. Then there was a
and it's
sumo wrestler one. Just
I
all
don't even
this.
remember that one.
It was all weird. I took a note of it, and that's all I remember of it, other than the fact that something entertained me in it. Now I don't remember it. So
Yes,
that's
I don't even remember it, and that one's just gone from my brain.
there you go.
I'm
And
trying to
then
think of all the ones
the
I can
end,
remember.
the
Oh
end
yeah,
of the
que sera sera.
whatever the will be will
Whatever
be.
will
The cute
be,
little
will
singing
be.
intro outro, and the dog was on an umbrella too. Poochie that was
Dude,
never mentioned throughout.
that was like the first vignette which stuck in my mind because the kid was fleeing from the giant snail. It was the whole like getting married thing, and at
Yeah,
one
riding
point
a toboggan was
they
a
they
metaphor
find
for
a
marriage.
they find a peach floating in the ocean, and it turns out to be the older brother. And
And
then
then the
they
girl was in bamboo. Yeah.
yeah, and then his son does something, and they chase him on a snail.
I don't.
I don't know. That was how the ending was too. The ending was just them floating around, and then there was like a lot of
It was
people,
like
and
a
then there were other people in
family-friendly version
rooms.
of The Simpsons, really.
It
It was
was
just
it, it was a family
silly.
friendly version of Paranoia Agent. Let me tell you,
Never seen that
that's what
anime.
it was. Jays,
It
you
was
could
weird.
probably back me up on that one.
Oh shit, I haven't watched that either.
Ah!
Oh, we're putting that
It's on
on the
my
list for the
list.
cast. Putting
Oh,
that on the list for
nice.
the cast. We gotta watch that for this. Oh,
Well,
I
if
just
you've
want.
seen it, then it's
I
disqualified,
haven't
though.
seen it in years. Also, I want to see your reaction to it. I think that'll be more fun to me.
Okay. I
Ooh.
do like dark
Cause
and gritty things.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Ah,
This movie was not dark and gritty. It was light and
no, this is
wholesome with terrible animation, and it was
and
supposed to be
forgettable.
funny.
Gross.
It was forgettable. Look, I don't really think there's a whole lot more to say about it. If
No,
look,
there's not.
if you're looking for background noise while you're working on
Yeah.
something else, this
If you
movie
want
would
to
be
listen to
perfect
Jim Belushi, yeah.
because you can look up for a few minutes, go heh heh, and then resume what you were doing.
Huh.
Instead of your
Yeah.
lo-fi remixes and beats. I've been listening to Zelda and chill a lot recently.
I don't care for
You
lo-fi.
leave them alone. I want my lo-fi. I don't want this.
No,
That's fair.
I've been listening to sea shanties.
There's a
Lo-fi.
lo-fi
Nice.
sea shanty.
Nah,
Probably
I'm
is.
good. I listened to some
Damn.
lo-fi for a little bit, and I was just like, nah, it's not my thing. I like
But
high energy. I don't like low energy.
I feel like there's not much else we could say about this movie. It was a movie.
It was a film. How many missing dogs out of 10?
Missing dogs.
Because
I was gonna go
his
with
dog ain't even plot relevant.
no, that's true. Yeah,
He has
none of
no vignette. There's not a single one about feeding the dog or caring for the family pet.
or the dog chewing up something, pissing on something, fucking something, but no, nothing.
I would have expected a vignette about like with all the other lessons and everything like that, taking care of the pet
It's like they were
as
Yeah,
an
no,
gonna do
important
something,
freaking
but they just
lesson.
forgot.
pretty much.
Because the dog is just forgettable.
I don't know.
He's a
I feel
dog.
like savage grandmas. How many savage grandmas out of 10
How many forgotten how many noodle lunches because they it's all they ate for like a week.
was noodles?
Yeah, I can understand the
It's
kid's
Because
angels.
disappointment.
the dad kept getting them from the dad
Well,
kept
noodles are
getting
cheap.
gifts. He kept getting gifts from some company,
Yeah,
and
because
they were all
noodles are
noodles.
cheap.
So what are we doing?
Oh,
Forgotten dogs, noodle lunches, savage grandmas. Take your pick. I'm gonna give it. Look, the animation was absolute garbage, but it was still. It's better than some of the other movies we watched. But look, I'm just gonna give it a solid, right in the middle, 5 out of 10. 5 savage grandmas. Are you agreeing with
5,
me? 5.
5. It is average.
It is
Neither
painfully
good nor
average.
bad.
It's
Yes,
just
painfully average. It is definitely one of the few times where I've been like, huh, I guess not all Studio Ghibli films are good.
if it had better, more classic Studio Ghibli animation, I would have given it a much higher rating.
Oh,
But
imagine it was imagine it with the Ghibli animation.
it would have been a lot better. Honestly,
Oh,
the animation, it felt
glorious.
like watching an episode of like Max and Ruby or like, old school morning cartoons for like preschoolers. It really did. And that
Yes.
most likely was the target audience for this.
Yes. Probably because
So it feels like post-war kind of
totally.
animation.
Even though it was 1999.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it feels
Well,
like
it was based off the original manga, which is even worse, believe it or not. I
Oh,
will
how?
I
when
will
was
send
that made?
Oh
Eric,
my god, it is worse.
I will send that to.
It
No, stop,
began in
not that.
1991.
Oh,
Delete
okay.
that.
There you go.
I'm not
Oh
So
smart.
there you go. That's
no.
something we all can look up.
No,
Look, yeah,
no.
look it up. Look up the original.
No,
I'll
no.
see if I can get
It
a
was
visual on that,
There you go.
guys.
Oh, I sent you one,
I,
Chase.
I
it
can't
was
get to that
made
currently.
it
Fair
was
enough.
made in 1991 though. Oh no. Why is
Yeah,
it so bad?
I don't
Oh
know.
dear.
Yeah, it's called No Chan, and the animation for that's even
Cuz it's
fucking
more
worse.
it looks like it's more about the sister.
Yeah, I imagine that's why her name is No Chan.
No, no.
No, don't touch me
Well,
there.
what's weird is her name is Nanoko, right?
hmm
And I believe Onanoko is little girl.
Ah,
So
see,
her name is sort of a play on little girl.
yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's the only
It's it sounds like a little bit of Azumanga Daioh, but less good.
it's it's a 5. It's a 5. It's a 5
Yeah,
for
and
me.
there's
It's going to be a
just
5 for me, dog. Just 5 flat out.
yeah 5. Yeah. The
Nobody watch it if
animation,
you
if you look up No Chan on Google Images, prepare to
put it
have
put it
horrible.
on for your kids.
Yeah,
I would have even preferred the Crown Shin-chan art actually,
yeah, that's fair, honestly.
cuz at least that had some substance and style to it.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
some more there.
There was also weird moments. We didn't talk about this, but there was weird moments where there was ray tracing, or not ray tracing. What am I thinking of? Line tracing. You know what I mean?
Mm.
What they used to do for like the old Disney films, where they would like trace actual people doing a thing.
Oh yeah, like with the biker scene when the dad was talking to them,
Yeah,
and
that was
yeah,
weird
that was weird. That
because
it was
it's
trying to make the scene dramatic, but it wasn't.
or when he was watching baseball, they were all like actually traced people,
Mm-hmm.
and it really looks weird. That detracts a lot from
A lot.
yeah.
So
So
yeah,
yeah, that's
five
why
out of
it's
ten.
5.
If you want some background noise and
Or if
have a
you have
streaming,
kids.
or if you have kids and you want, because it attracted my 8-year-old's attention perfectly. He watched the whole movie. He had me pause it every time he had to get up and get water or go to the bathroom, which is a lot for an 8-year-old. And so he was definitely invested in it.
He doesn't
And
have adult tastes.
no, but
Not refined yet.
yeah, let us know
Not
what you guys
cultured
thought of
like
it.
next week.
Oh, next week's
Ayy.
got some culture, some
That's
good
all you.
culture. Yep. Okay. All right,
Oh man,
guys. Thanks
interesting
for watching
discussion.
this show after the show.
Thanks for being
And
here.
you're canonically attractive because you're here. And have a good one. We'll see you guys next time.
Take
Take us
care.
out, DC.
Bye.
Bye bye.